Hi, it's Jez from Nigezza Creates. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm here with another collaboration video, really couldn't say that, for Rach&Bella Crafts. It's hashtag ACraftersChristmasHop. I should have that up there. I might forget, but it's all linked down below. Today I am teamed with Precious Memory Boxes Junk Journaling. She's new to me. So I popped over and subscribed to her channel, and I had a little look at some of her projects. This is day 18 and our prompt is Flips and Folios. So I watched a video where she showed lots and lots of different flips, and whilst watching it I was inspired. I had a little look round and found this on the floor, as you do. And I thought, well, I'm going to turn this into a flip. I may or may not incorporate some of the ideas I got from Precious Memory Boxes Junk Journaling, but it inspired me. So here we go. I've made lots and lots of folios in the past, but I want to make something kind of new. I'll probably incorporate some ideas that I've used before, and let's see where we go, because this is completely unplanned. I am starting it now because this is the 7th of November, because I completely failed to get my last video out on time, and I was just horrified because I never do that, but you know, things happen sometimes. It's maybe my memory. I just completely lost track of what the day was, really. So bereavement brain, that's what I call it. So there we go. I'm just going to take this rough edge. No, that's not working, Jez. Yeah, I was trying to take a leaf out of Steph from Hilltop Fuse Journals. She always uses a knife. I'm rubbish at it. Anyway, it failed completely on that. So yeah, we'll do this another way. So I just want to get this raggedy end off. I don't want to cut it because it's right. I'm going to cut it down because I don't want the top on it anyway. So where are we going to cut it down to, Jess? Let's do a bit of a measure. Oh, bear with. Right. So 8 1/4 is the height of our pages. So should I go down to about 7 1/2? I think I will. So I'm just going to do a little mark there on 7 1/2. There we go. Yeah. So fold that under so I can get kind of a straight edge up there. So we'll cut that off there, and then I'm gonna, on the fold, just slice a little sliver off, and that will take that raggedy edge off quite nicely. I really like the way that comes in. I may or may not keep that. Right, so we're left with that. I want it to be a flip out, so I need to take a tiny bit off the bottom so it does flip out. There we go. And we've got a little up bit there. I might just leave that as it is and just be ready to cover it. So that is the basis. My plan is that is going to get stuck down on a page. I want this to be a pocket, so I'm going to slice diagonally down there, I think. So just going to put that on the edge of the trimmer. There we go. So I might actually straighten that bit up. Putting this bottom bit along the edge there. There we go. So that is the way I'm going to do my folio. It's a little bit ripped there. It doesn't matter because I'm going to cover this. So that is that is that. I'll keep these for now because I'm not sure if they'll come in handy. I'll get rid of everything else. So let me show you my idea. So those of you who watch me regularly know that I have this journal that I put collaboration projects in. So let's find a page for Crimbo. How about that? Let's have that as a page for Crimbo. So it needs to be a page out that way. I'm not sure that I want to cover up that map, although it is a nice, quite solid bit. And this is upside down, so that's quite cool. So that's my idea. I'm going to stick this down, and then I'll have a pocket there. I have lots of tags that I made in my previous collaboration video, so they're sort of ready to be in it. I might make a pocket there as well, so it'll be a double pocket thing. And I want something that you see through the window, and to sort of make it into a kind of folio thing, I might put a few pages in there for journaling on, and so then we're just going to decorate the front there. And I might actually use my belly band there on the other side, so that it ties in. Those are my thoughts of where I'm going with that. And then I've got another collaboration video, and I might actually make a tag big enough for the back there, so it's a nice big one in that, because it is tags is the next one, where I'm teamed up with the lovely Tracy Fox. So let's make sure I actually remember that is where I'm going with that. Where's the back end of that? Yeah, that's where you're going with that, Jez. So keep that there, so I know that is where I want that to go. And I like the fact that I'm tying in all the Christmas projects on there. So there we go. I want a nice image to go back there. I have lots of pages printed, but I might not have a focal point within the pages that are printed for my my first video. Now I quite like that Christmas Carol thing. That would work. I do love Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, so that's me and Ed used to love the Muppets version, so that might be quite good to do. What does this one say? Because there's that as well. No, yeah, I think that one's speaking to me. I'll embellish a bit more of it, but yeah, I think that's where we're going. Gosh, that was a really quick decision, wasn't it? So anybody new to my channel, if you hear me talking about Ed, he is my other half, my partner in crime of 37 years, who sadly passed away in February of this year. So I am navigating the painful journey of grief and loss. Yeah, so you will hear me talk about him, and yeah, so if I mention him, that's who he is. There we go. Now I'm doing this a bit gently. Let's see if this one works a bit better. I think it's because it's just hang on a moment. Right, I've been gone 24 hours or more. My son was just calling me just that second, and yeah, and I went and I never got back to doing this. So yes, sorry about that. So you're going down there. I'm just doing this to go over there. We'll come down here. I'm going to even that up a little bit. Yeah, so I went out last night. My friend messaged me in the morning and went, do you fancy going to see the Fast Show? So it's the TV programme. It was like an anniversary tour and playing at one of our local venues. And it was an absolute favourite. Oh, fiddlesticks. Oh, or I could do that. Yes, an absolute firm favourite, and mine and Ed, we used to watch it together, and it's yeah, used to make us laugh a lot. That's not going to be any good, that one, is it? Because then we'll end up with that at the bottom. Blooming heck. Right. Maybe I could do a Come All Ye Faithful and put something else in the middle. Maybe cut it down and layer it on that. Might do that. Yeah, so it was a programme we watched a lot of. And whilst I was at the show last night, it kind of struck me the catchphrases. All the catchphrases, of which there were so many of the show. They just basically punctuated our life together. It was like Ed and I would say them all the time. And so my friend, who sort of said, oh, you know, it was somebody she knew, they had tickets going, and her husband had said, oh, I'm sure Jez would enjoy. He kind of knew that you know, he figured, having knowing Ed, that he figured that it would be something that we would have enjoyed, and he was right. And so yeah, I went along. I'm sure I was just needing something to laugh. I kind of struck me that Ed made me laugh every day, and I don't laugh every day now. I smile every day. I find something to make me smile every day, but I don't laugh every day. And so yeah, that was yeah, that'll work. Yeah, so and I was just feeling that I needed to laugh, and I couldn't remember the last time I laughed. I was telling James that, and he went, well, you clearly don't speak to me very much because I'm hilarious, which was quite funny. And I told my mate Chris that, and she said, that is just the sort of thing you would have said, Jez. And I went, I know. And there it is, that's what I'm looking for. And yeah, so I went along. I did laugh a lot, but I also did shed some tears. But my cheeks were aching, absolutely aching, from smiling and laughing through, yeah, 2.5 hours probably. Might have been longer. Might have been 3. I don't know. It was just absolutely brilliant. if a bit tinged with sadness. But yeah. So yeah, that's that was how we sort of ended. That's how I got through the day last night. That's why I never got back to this, because my mate, she picked me up, so we had tea together and a few drinks before we got to the show. Here we are. Today I've been into town. I've walked miles. I walked 7.5 miles altogether. No wonder I'm tired. Let's go into town to get James his birthday present. It's his birthday. It's his birthday on the Tuesday after mine, and we're going away day before my birthday. We're not back to the Sunday, and I don't want to leave it to having to get him something on the Monday. Oh, plus I'll probably be tired flying back, so yeah. So this is, I'm just trying to, I think that'll do. I'm just getting that stuck down. Now I'll cover the whole of this, but just wanted that bit down for now. So now I can cover the whole of that. But on this side, I'll have to collage it. That bit's going to get stuck down, so I don't have to worry about that. So let's get this covered. So I decided that I would speed this bit up and do a voiceover because I am just collaging. So I've decided to use glue stick. I use glue stick on my masterboard, so I am embracing the glue stick a little bit more now. And it's certainly a bit quicker, but yeah, I'm not sure that I fully trust it. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. I just remembered I needed to ink that bit first, because it will be difficult to ink it, the bit that's round the window. So I'm using fairly big bits here. This is the stuff that I printed on copier paper when I was doing the masterboard, and that kind of works for me. It is because it's lighter, and I think as you're sticking on to another bit of paper, in this case an envelope, you don't want really thick paper, and copier paper is easier to rip as well, like I've just ripped there. So I don't want it to cover the entirety of that back. I want to sort of break it up. I mean, it is my intention to put some pockets or whatever on the inside anyway, to make it folio-ish. So it doesn't matter that it's big bits, and of course it makes it a bit quicker if it's big bits. So yeah, just laying down a bit of book page there to cover the bit with the envelope, the window of the envelope. So I'm just sticking down next to it. That seemed to be the easiest way of doing it. I love it when you use a kit like this, because all the pages sort of match well. Doing it so it folds over the edge, so then you don't get any nasty edging. And I'm also explaining there how I'm going to put a signature in, so that will give that corner a little bit more sort of reinforcement, so it's not going to come apart, hopefully, when I've done it. I mean, it's not like it's going to get flipped and flapped a lot, but it is going to be used probably, so because this is going in my sort of ideas collaboration journal, and I thought that I'd maybe eventually journal in it when it's full, and then when I'm using it for inspiration, I will then have the idea about how it's then able to be used. So yeah, just continuing here with my collaging, picking out little bits. I'm going to overlap a bit because I don't want it to be like straight lines butted up to straight lines. I want you know, I want it to overlap a bit so it looks less ordered. And there will be bits of decoration on the top. I mean, I now know what I do. I know what the finished product looks like, but I don't at the time of doing this. I'm just going with it, really. And you know, getting the brown covered with all the beautiful papers here. And yeah, I really am embracing this glue stick, aren't I? So now I'm going to do a bit of inking, and then I'm going to turn to the inside and decide what to do on the inside. So I'm covering up that window section, and yeah, it's going much quicker with the fact that I'm using big bits, and yeah, you can use smaller bits like I did with the masterboard, but this was working for me because I was like conscious that I wanted it to not be, you know, too long. And actually this whole process took me over 2 hours, so I have done, you know, quite a bit of speeding up in it to get it to not be too long for you. And again, so that section there where it's folded, I've now got paper on either side of the fold, so that will make it you know, better for the journal. Oh, I've lost my thoughts then. Sorry, I was just looking and thinking, what am I doing? I don't know. So yeah, I just take a bit of time choosing what I want to go over the inside. There's a bit of me that was thinking about it looking pretty, forgetting that I was going to cover it with pockets, and at this stage I don't know how I was planning on doing the pockets. So yeah, it's just proper collaging, and I think I'll probably do some stamping as well, so you know, it's going to get covered in all sorts. There, so then we've just got that one last bit to do, so I'll do a bit of sort of folding so that I know that it's going to go over that diagonal bit, because I think that will give the edge a bit of reinforcing, because I do intend for a tag to be going in and out of it, so I like the edging to be reinforced. I did think when I was editing this video that I could have just folded back the envelope instead of cutting it, but you know, I'm covering it now anyway, so it don't really matter. So this is me nearly done, and I now, because it was a few days ago, can't remember what the next bit is, but I'll finish the collaging, and then I'll go back to my general chat, unless I change my mind and think I've waffled too much, and speed it up again and do a voiceover. Right, so we are all covered. I am just going to neaten the top and the bottom up with my trimmer. Just take a smidge off the top of that so it's all nice and straight, and then we'll take a smidge off the bottom as well. So that's all nice and even and straight. There we go. So that is my little flaps, my little flip and my little pocket. And let's have a little look-see where we're going to put it. Putting it there. So it's going on the edge of the page there. This will flip open, and we'll have a pocket in there. So I wanted to have a little journal in here, I think, for writing on. I might make it this size rather than full size, although I could make it full size actually, Jez, and that is the reason why I wanted to double over this corner. That's why I wanted to double over this corner, so that there was strength in that if I was going to sew in a journal in there. So that is my plans. So I'm gonna embellish this a little bit further, add a few stamps, I think, to it. I might put a bit of lace and things down. I think that'll look nice down there. Break that up a bit. Put one on this side as well. Trim it down a bit. Yeah, I might have a bit on that side and a bit on that side. I think that might look quite nice. Or I might put some lace on it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it for now, and I'm going to come back to it because I'm a bit tired, and I think it needs a bit more thought than I am actually able to give it right now. Okay, so I've had a little walk away, I've had a sleep, and I've had a think about it, and so I got a few little scraps that were just sort of on my desk of thoughts of what I could do. Quite like something like that. I then sort of looked around for bits of lace that I might use on it. I did think about maybe a bit of lace up that one. I did wonder about it coming off the end actually. Thought that might look quite cool, and maybe add a bit of that to the other side. I don't know. Thoughts are forming. I thought in the side, because it is kind of a flip and a folio, so I thought maybe I could put pockets on here. So I looked at the sheets that I printed off, and of course I printed them all off on copier paper, so I just folded it in half and glued it together. Just used glue stick, and then I've had it underneath my mat overnight, and I thought I could do some nice pockets with this, and maybe do a pocket on each side, was a thought. And I want a little journal in here, so I just cut down some papers. So I've got tea dyed paper, I've got some vintage exercise book. You can see the lovely rust on the centre. This is a bit of like ledger pad. I've showed that in a recent craft shop, charity shop haul, but I'm not sure if you've seen it yet. But there we are. I'm using it straight away. So I cut that down so that it would fit. I thought it doesn't matter if it goes over, but actually I thought it would annoy me, so I've done it so that it's a bit cut down on there. And I don't know, I was thinking I could do a little pocket there with something sticking out, but I don't know. So yeah, that is what I've done off camera for this. So let's get the pockets. And then I can utilise these tags I made in the other collaboration, and I've still got tag in my next collaboration video, which I shall put in there, and then it will all tie up. That's where I'm going with this. So yeah, 2 pockets. So this is too big for what I want, which is okay. And I think I'm going to put some stamping on this. So that's where we're at. So let's let's have a look, see where I want to cut. So I want to cut a little bit down there, and I do want to cut a little bit off this side so I know it's definitely straight. That's what I want. Oh yeah, that'll be grand. And it can be bigger on the other side on account of the fact that it's or on the other side I could maybe do I was thinking I could do 2 side pockets and have it sticking out that way. There's a thought, Jez. The thought has just crossed my mind. So neaten that up. So if it was like that, would it fit? Yeah, this should just fit a tag in there, shouldn't it? Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would just. So let's do that then. Right. That is what I'm thinking for my folio, like so. So do I want a little thumb notch? I think so. Like that. Thumb notch these. So put it together. That's grand. So we've got that. Right, so we want, I'm going to round the bottoms. I want a bit of clusters, I think, to decorate these. But let's just get it inked. So I'll ink it up quickly. Right, I'm going to do a bit of stamping because really. That makes them match quite nicely, having that on each of them. And then I'm going to bring in some other bits and bobs. So I'm just putting some stamping around like I did on the masterboard, just to add a few little bits of interest, and yeah, it's just a nice sort of quick easy way of doing it. I could stencil, I've done that in the past, but I felt that this project needed stamping to, you know, stand out better. Oh, yeah, that'll do. Right, just gives it a little lift, and then it goes with the tags as well because I did it all over the masterboard. So yeah. Right, let's stick that down. Gonna use, it's not up, but yeah, I'm kind of losing track what's in some of these. I'm not sure what's in this one. It's not going to come out, whatever's in there, Jez. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. It's staring it in the face. This is art glitter, so I know what this is. It might not come out because I haven't used it for a while. Right, that's what them pins are there for. Oh yeah, been truly clogged. So that's worked now. Right, let's unclog this. Right, that took a bit of time, but we got there in the end. Definitely a blockage up there. So I wanted to use art glitter because I want to go, particularly on the side pockets, right close to the edge. And this does give me a bit of control. There we are. There we go. That's that one. Right, let's get these side ones done. And these really do need to be close to the edge, otherwise them tags ain't going to fit in. That's that one. Yep, they'll fit in. Fabulous. Fabulous. We'll stick you there. I wanted to see Sleigh Ride. Oh, I wanted to have... Oh, I was going to put... a snowflake stamp on there. Never mind. I might be able to put a snowflake decoration just because it went with Sleigh Ride, because you've got to have snow to go on a sleigh ride, don't you? There we go. And I'm going to do some clustering, but let's do a bit on here first. Right, look at that. That's a bit straight there. I'll give that a bit of a rip. Might do a bit of that. Yeah, let's give that a little snip up there. That's come off. So snip across there. Right, I want this to have a little bit of colour because it's too white. Yeah, that's better. So I'm going to stick that down. And then maybe a different bit of ribbon on the other side. That's gorgeous ribbon. I love it. Very nearly cut my nail then. That would have been a bit of a disaster, darling. There we go. Just colour it a tad. Even though I quite like the colour. I like it, but there's a bit of me. I am thinking a bit of ribbon under that. bit of lace under there. Don't know. Right, now we will go up there. And I don't mind it being off the page a bit, actually. Yeah, we'll do that. That'd be nice. So we just want to go along this end, along there, and we'll go around these bits, the smiley bits. I always forget to put lace on, and I've got so much of the stuff. I think that's going to be my thing for next year. Use up what you got. You've got a lot. Use it up. I've got so much beautiful original ephemera. So much lace. So many lovely fabrics. I'm definitely not one for using fabrics, so I'm thinking something needs to be on there. Right, so we are going to have that in there. In there. That one in there. Yeah. That's very cool. Yeah. And we've got a journal to sew in, a few little clusters to make, I think, or I might just put a word. I've got some lovely words, so I might do that. So we're going to get this sewn in. So I'm just going to get my binding kit that I've got. It's in this nice little drawer, everything's there, quite organised for me. So in order to be able to get, I'm only eyeballing it, your holes in right. So you fold over what you're sticking your holes in, and then your pokey tool will come out right at the bend. There we go, 3 times the height for your thread. And I'm just going to do a quick 3-hole pamphlet slit stitch. Whilst I do this, I talk about going shopping and buying James' birthday present and how much I enjoyed it, and how much I'm enjoying retail therapy, yeah. So, and it was nice. I was buying for somebody else, so it doesn't even have to be me buying for myself. I thoroughly enjoyed buying for someone else things that I thought, oh, you'll like that. Well, I hope so anyway. I'll find out when he gets his presents. So yeah, that is me. I'm leaving some threads to put some dangles on, maybe, and which I haven't yet done, but I possibly will at some point in the future. So there we are, just giving them all a little bit of a rub. That's my journal done. I'm gonna stamp. On this page. I love this holly stamp. It's the main reason I bought stamp set. There we go. Lush. That'll be nice. Might do the odd one inside as well. Not too many. Just the odd one. Yeah. And whilst I'm journaling, I can add if I want, but that just looks nice for opening it up and seeing it. And then let's get it ready for sticking in. So going to do a slightly thicker than normal bit of glue because it's got a lot to hold in really. So I'm going to come up the bottom about quarter of an inch, so it's got a lot of glue holding in, and then we'll come up the edge here. Let's get the page. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up so that I definitely go. Take these out because they're stopping me for the moment. I might have to take a bit off the bottom. So just want to go on the edge of this page. There we are. Let's put these back in. This isn't the tag that's going in there, but that is what we're going to get. I'll just leave that in there for now, so we've got it for the look. Got a little bit of a journal pocket there. I'm going to match it over here with this belly band. That's giving a really nice look. So there, it's almost like we've got a tab. It does close. Yeah. So I don't need to cut them down. Let's stick that in. I've got a Christmas edition of the Radio Times. I might get a page of that and fold it up and put it inside this belly band. Could have come up a little bit there on that. There we go. That's nicely done. Right. So do we want any little finishing touches on this? Yeah, just a couple of little bits for clusters, I think, or a word. That's what I was going to do. So I'm just choosing my words. I do pretty randomly really. I'm just not putting too much thought into the words that I'm choosing, and just going to cut them out. And I'm thinking I'll just put a little bit of cheesecloth behind them, and that will probably be enough. This first pocket here though, I think it needs a little bit more than just a word, so I'm just picking out what I could use as a bit of a decorative cluster on that. I decided to fussy cut out one of these tags, and then get it inked up, ready to be stuck down, and I'm quite pleased with how that's turned out really. Now I think that's how we're going to do here. So I'll just ink these little bits up, and then do similar things on the other two pockets, and that will be done. I've no idea how long this is going to end up being, because I've stopped and started, and bits are going to be speeded up, but hopefully it won't be too long. And I hope you go and see Precious Memory Box's junk journaling. I've got it written down here and I can't read it because it's out of sorts. Yeah, junk journaling. Yeah, I'll link it down below. Go and check what she's done. Right, so here I am. I'm just sticking down my clusters there. I thought they were pretty straightforward, so I could speed it up and do another voiceover. I do in this urge you to go and check out my partner for the day. I will link all her details down below. Looking forward to seeing what she comes out with. Yeah, and I've linked to the video that inspired me. I'm not doing the same thing, but I was inspired by all the different flips that she did on the video that I'm linking to. So do go and check her out. Here I am doing a little bow there. I thought the tag needed a bow, and I do say in my waffling about it's those little like extra bits. They take a bit of extra time, but they make all the difference. And you know, I like doing those extra mile things because that does lift your project, and it's, you know, it's really worth doing, whether you're making to sell, making for a gift, or making for yourself. We all deserve that extra little effort. It's a bit self-care. It's what I'm doing now. I'm doing a lot of self-care things that make me smile, and I would not have smiled if I hadn't put a bow in that. I'd have been thinking, cheers, you took a shortcut there, and I'd be disappointed with myself. So here I am now, just turning to the front and putting that seasonal greetings or something. It says compliments of the season, that's what it says on the front there, adding a little bit of that lacy bit of packaging that I punched out, and then when I put it down I think, oh, it needs a little cement, so I have to fussy cut out a little bit of a holly, you know, and ribbon covered present, just to give it a little lift there in the corner. There we go. We are done. That is my little folio, Flips and Folios, done. Clear out all this rubbish and gubbins so you can see. I've put the belly band there, it's just a little extra. So there's my little flip. It's a folio because it's got a couple of pockets here with a couple of tags. We have a journal, we have a pocket here for another tag, and a pocket here for another tag, and that will have the tag with my next project going in. I'll chuck something in there, and yeah, that's my little Christmas page in my little journal here that I made for collaboration bits. And yeah, and I'm gonna, this will be an ideas book, but I think I might also journal in it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, do go and check out everybody else in the collaboration, and let me know what you think. Okay, bye for now.